So the Dallas Cowboys just wrapped up their first preseason game of the season versus the LA Rams. And though there was some good, there was a lot of bad. And with all the scrutiny and dark clouds going on when it comes to Micah Parsons contract negotiations and also the front office just slandering players, it's leaving Dallas Cowboys fans to question, yo, Tuck, is our defense going to be any good this year? I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Keep going.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Do me a quick favor, comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on that notification bell. So the Dallas Cowboys just wrapped up their first preseason game, and like I said, when it comes to the running backs, I like what I saw from Deuce. I like what I saw from Phil Maffa, and I love what I saw from Malik Davis. I feel like when it comes to Dallas Cowboys fans this offseason, there has been a lot of excitement, right? We got Dak Prescott back. Oh, Dak Prescott. Shut up, right? But we got CeeDee Lamb coming back. But then most importantly, we got that dog that we got in a trade in George Pickens. So although a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans, self-included, are extremely excited about the offensive side of the ball. We see in Cavante Turpin speed. Jake Ferguson looks to kind of be himself again. We drafted Tyler Booker. Offensive line is young and hungry. But, huge but, right? You know what I'm saying? Huge but. We know there's two sides when it comes to the game of football, and a lot of people are questioning the Dallas Cowboys defense. Now, we are going on our third defensive coordinator in 3 years. It's crazy. From Dan Quinn to Coach Zimmer to Matt Eberflus. And when you look at the Dallas Cowboys roster, the defensive side of the ball, there is a lot of talent. We got Osa Digizua, who we just signed. We drafted Donovan Ezekaraku. We brought back Dante Fowler. Micah Parsons is signed, right? We traded for Kyer Elam, who I think is going to be a better fit in Dallas. You have Deron Bland. You have Trevon Diggs returning back from injury. You have Sam Williams, Maris Leofau, and possibly you could get DeMarvion Overshown back by our Thanksgiving plates. So, Tuck, what is the problem? What is the problem? Well, when you look at this Dallas Cowboys defense, it just doesn't feel like we have enough. And let's talk about that number one position that everybody's been talking about, the defensive tackle. Not the three tech, not the skinny minis, the sleeks and bleaks, right? Like Osa, Solomon Thomas, Tommy Aking-Basote, Peyton Turner, and even Perion Winfrey. We are talking about the interior position, the fat, nasty one tech to eat up double teams and take on blocks. Now, the Dallas Cowboys a few years did draft Mazi Smith in the first round. Whether you love it or hate it, it was a play in a draft pick that the Dallas Cowboys front office made, not the head coach, not the defensive coordinator. This was on Will and Steven and Jared Jones, right, to bring in Mazi Smith. And Mazi Smith just hasn't turned the corner and met the Dallas Cowboys fans' expectations. It's been incremental, right? It's been very incremental, but people want to see that leap. They want to see a first-round talent when it comes to Mazi Smith. Now, I'm not one to put the B word on any draft prospect because let's keep it a buck. These guys have made a lot further in life than a lot of us will ever make it. But you have to start questioning a few things because it just doesn't look like it should look when it comes to the leap, when it comes to Mazi Smith. Now, here's what I'm talking about. Whenever like a Trey Lance plays or Shedeur Sanders plays decent, people say, relax, it's just preseason. They should be doing that in preseason. They should be dominating in preseason. It's not even starters. There was starters out there. There's not even starters out there. They should be dominating. Okay, whatever, bro. I hear you. But for Mazi Smith, it should be the same case. You're not going against premier talent like you be going against in the regular season. There should have been some glimpses of dominance. Now, he did have some good plays, decent plays, but nothing to be too excited about. We need to see domination from Mazi Smith besides the Giants, right? And John Michael Schmidt. You know what I'm saying? We need to see consistent dominance and consistency from Mazi Smith, and we just haven't seen it as of yet. So I understand Cowboys fans for not having that confidence to believe that Mazi can be the guy. Now, there's all this offseason. We heard about Jay Toye out of UCLA. Jay Toye, he's a dog, right? He's still a rookie. And he struggled a little bit in his first preseason game. So when you look at the Dallas Cowboys from a nose tackle position, we don't have too many options, right? So I think it's going to be up to Stephen and Jerry Jones and Will McClay to actually say, you know what, enough's enough. Let's go get Matt Eberflus a guy, because I know a lot of people are saying that Matt Eberflus likes 3 techs and a versatile scheme. No. Go look at his roster that he had in Chicago. He had some size in Chicago. If you look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did versus the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Size across the defensive line. You look at what the Chargers are trying to build to stop the Kansas City Chiefs. Size across the defensive line. You need toughness, size, athleticism, and physicality, and I just don't feel like the Dallas Cowboys have that right now, which is extremely important when it comes to stopping the run. Now, outside the defensive tackle position, edges are fine. Donovan's fine, right? Fowler will be fine. Micah, if signed, will be fine. I have no concerns about the edges, but where my other concern is, Cowboys Nation, you already know, comment below, it's the cornerback position. It doesn't feel good right now. We see Trevon Diggs. He's making some leaps and bounds, recovering from his injury. Will he be week 1 ready? Probably not. We drafted Siobhan Revel in the 3rd round, who I think is going to be a talented player at the NFL level. Personally, I am starting to slap the red shirt label on Siobhan. Do not rush this kid out there. Brian Schottenheimer spoke the other day. He's had some setbacks with the knee. He had some swelling. Let's not rush this kid back. So X out Siobhan. Then you have DaRon Bland. DaRon Bland's an interesting topic because we know what he did when he was getting pick sixes, right, and breaking historical records. But last year, coming off the foot injury, it didn't feel and look the same when it came to DaRon Bland. So is DaRon Bland the guy who we saw was breaking records, or was he who we saw last year? Remains to be unseen, but it feels like DaRon Bland's going to be playing on the boundary. So when you're playing on the outside corner, you're going to get some dogs out there, right? You're going to get the A.J. Browns. You're going to get some Justin Jeffersons your way. You're going to get some dogs. And we all remember DaRon Bland versus DK Metcalf. It was kind of like, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how DaRon Bland fares out. But you also have Kyer Elam, who you traded for out of Buffalo. He is going to be a boundary corner. So how is that dynamic going to work when Diggs returns? I do not know. But until Diggs returns, it's going to be Bland on one boundary, Kyer Elam on the other boundary, and pick whoever you like to play in the inside. A guy I've been extremely vocal about, who played well in his first preseason game at the NFL level, was Zion Childress out of the University of Kentucky, but he's an undrafted guy. He's a rookie, right? And we know slots can get shifty at the NFL level, so we don't have an inside guy. Now, there's some names out there. Gilly Goat. How many more tweets can we send Stephon Gilmore, right? Asante Samuel, I'm not sure what's going on with Asante Samuel and the shoulder injury, but it must be bad because the fact that he's not on a roster right now, it perplexes me, right? But I feel like the Dallas Cowboys really need to go get a veteran guy because, no disrespect, but Andrew Booth, there ain't it, right? Rochelle, there ain't it. Keemon Hall, there ain't it. You know what I'm saying? We have 2, not 1, but 2 divisional games back to back. And we can't go out there playing with some random corners versus A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Malik Neighbors. No. It's time for the Dallas Cowboys to look at their roster defensively and say, okay, let's go make some moves and shore this thing up, because we cannot afford to make any slides and go 0-2, because that's going to be an uphill battle. Now, like I said, defensively, we'll have to sit back and see how things unfold. When it came to Coach Zimmer last year, the one thing I knew about Coach Zimmer, he was a mad scientist when it comes to his scheme. Matt Eberflus, not so much. He's very basic and vanilla, just hard-nosed football, rushing with 4, rushing to the ball, shooting your gaps, squeezing down the edges, keeping everything in front, trying to make plays on the ball and get turnovers. We didn't have any turnovers in our first preseason game, so it's going to feel very Dan Quinn-ish. I know a lot of you Didn't like the way Dan Quinn was a defensive coordinator in Dallas, but you're lying to yourselves because you loved it until Green Bay. So if Matt Eberflus can restore that, things can be better. But until we get that Lion back and Trevon back and Overshown back, it might be a bumpy and rocky ride when it comes to our defense. So we'll have to sit back and wait and see. So it's your boy J Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe. If you love Dallas Cowboys content, you're in the right spot. Even if you just love talking football, you're in the right spot. So turn on notification bell so you do not miss out. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. And defense wins championships. And right now our defense, it's a work in progress. Peace.